Welcome to episode 106 of the Corey Shepherd podcast. Reach far. Welcome back to everybody who's been listening. Welcome to all the new listeners. You know where to find this podcast by now, right? Everywhere. Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and then download the podcast apps. I heard that when you listen on Spotify, it don't download up all the episodes and fill up your phone. So download Spotify. That's an easy way to get to listen. And of course, you can check it out on YouTube. Watch it there. Our good news and our bad news. What are your first? You're the good news or you're the bad news? I started with foot updates. Are you good news or bad news? What's the situation? We're back to Tuesdays, right? Are you good? So, the good news is all stitches removed. All stitches are off. I'm still taking it easy, right? I ain't going too hard. I ain't trying to go too fast and dance too much and thing, you know what I mean? I sort of walk without the boot a little bit, you know? Good news. Walking without the boot now. The bad news is this. Apparently, I wasn't supposed to be walking without the boot. The thing say, and I could have swear the doctor tell me when we now start this thing, salute Dr. Sergey Sinclair. I could have swear he tell me this thing is 8 weeks. So I go on walking all about and think I'm walking in my slipper, walking barefoot. I ain't put on shoes yet because still issues with wound healing and incision and so on. But I out and about me, you know, I supposed to be wearing this boot for 12 weeks. But more good news on top of that. He said, boy, I hear you walking all the boot. He say, you're really not supposed to, but the way things healing and the way things looking with the Achilles are unofficially go ahead and walk without the boot. So unofficially, I'm out of the boot. Officially, all stitches have been removed. The bad news is I'm calling Sergey, Dr. Adnan all the time and saying he's a Russian. Apparently, the damn man is Ukrainian. It's a hell of a mistake to make in these times. I promise I didn't do it on purpose. So salute to my doc. And we're seeing signs of progress. Everything looking good. So I'll give you our next update next week, right? Let's see how it go. Now, long time I start this episode or any of these episodes with some classic songs. What do you say we dig? What's a classic? Because everybody are the best mother in the world. And so I the best mother in the world too. And this week is my mother's 70th birthday. She come down the road and he gone us and we had a time. We had a little brunch time. I want to say that all of we same age now. Guy feeling like 70. The way I walking and the way I moving slow and thing. All of we same age now. You know, you reach a point with your parents. Or at some point in your life, like with Zachary and thing is now, your parents is an authoritarian figure to you to tell you what to do. You had to follow everything they say. And then in about 2 years, Zachary ain't want to hear nothing from me. Anything I tell him, he want to do the opposite. Like I would do for 10, 15 years as you go into your teenage years and thing. But can't remember the book I read it in, but it says spend so much years trying to be like your parents, about 8, 9 years, 10, 11. And then you spend another 10 to 15 years trying to be as far away from your parents as possible, like as different a person as you could possibly be. And then at some point you just come back just like your parents. And I want to say that I'm at that point. I don't think it have anything I enjoy more than a line with my parents when you just sit down here and talk and hear them talk about the good old days and all these things and how they're feeling in the brand new days. And it was nice having them here and celebrating with 70th. And I want to put it out there in the beginning of the episode that I don't know if it's the Courvoisier or the amount of wine they get to drink because, you know, Stacey's a person who's liquor people up when they come in this house. I hear stories start to tell about people when there was whining low in Song Revolution days. So I want to start the episode like this. Yes. Is that cheers to 70th birthday and 70 more to come?
For 3 weeks straight, you've been telling me about this party.
Yes.
So I fix up myself and I come out to get on passy. We just reach in the place and you start you bumping and weaving. And then to make things worse, girl, you drop a hint about leaving.
What to do?
Stay a little longer. Feel the fire in your body growing stronger. Stay, let's stay together. And I promise you this night will last forever. if you're flamming. Overheating the place when somewhere start up the jamming. Stay and free up yourself, never turn your back on the soca. Feel the beat, always move your feet to make you feel better. Stay a little longer. Feel the fire in your body growing stronger. Stronger. Stay. Let's stay together. And I promise you this night will last forever. Bum bum ba-dum dum day. Bum bum ba-dum dum day. Bum bum ba-dum dum day. Toop 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 toop. Stay a little longer. Feel the fire in your body growing stronger. Stay, let's stay together.
Yes.
And I promise you this night will last forever.
Again, a happy 70th to the old lens. Knocking a good little knock, you know what I mean? I watch your parents, you know. I watch your parents. I want you to look at something, right? The average listener to this podcast, when you used to call your parents mommy and daddy, we passed that age. We reach the age now where we as old as we parents used to be when we used to be vexed with them. So just understand what you're doing with your children and understand how they're watching you right now. And I can't imagine what it would be like for me to be 70 and going by Zachary Place to Lime. You know what I mean? I hope you have a bird that's drunken people like Stacy. You know what I mean? This is the most I could hope for at this stage. What are we talking about this week, boy? This week was heavy on the culture, you know. This week was a real cultural week. Salute to Trinidad and Tobago this week. I think we do a good job. I want to start by talking about and sending a salute to Tribe. Now, I'm doing this with my full commitment already being made to humor, right? I am officially, what is it called? Human being. As a human being next year, Carnival 2023. And this is the goal. I have things to do where my foot concerned, but none more important than getting it healed in time for Carnival, Trinidad Carnival. I want to start physiotherapy as soon as possible. And we're going to start with a little slow chip, you know what I mean? We're going to physical therapy and we're starting a little chip for chip. We go in chip for chip. That's always starting it so that I know a good way Carnival concerned. And to tell you the truth, I man don't really move faster than a chip for chip on a Carnival Monday or Tuesday. Though. I'm looking for somewhere very close to the music truck where I could be outside in the shade. The hell with what Burton and these fellas go tell you. I'm looking for somewhere to shelter from that hot sun. I'm not going through that. We love it and everything. I hope rainfall for Carnival too. If rainfall for Carnival, I played mass on the whole road. If not, I will be putting in my earplugs so I don't get deaf right next to the music truck. If my head could go in a speaker to get shade, I'll go in my head in there. But I will say that I play mass with Fantasy, Tribe, Humor, and Poison. That's the 4 bands I ever play with. And I can't make with Tribe. So Miguel said, and them looking like they're heading towards the Tribe. They played with you in Humor last year. I tell myself when I play mass with Sadie and them last year, right? I say, these little young birds don't want to be around the old man again in life again. When them see among the old man in Humor, them go and get the hell out of Humor. And so said, so done. All of them heading to Tribe. I think under a certain age, once again, no age, no number now. Under a certain age in terms of how you feel, I feel like I could really enjoy Tribe and it's one of the best bands. I will say as well that nobody is more organized than Tribe. You see, Tribe, from the registration process online to the costume collection and all those things, even on your road, the on-the-road experience, security, services on your road, they're top notch. They're 100%. I haven't seen anybody rival that yet. Not even match it, but to rival it. The one thing I don't like about Tribe, what they do it, Tribe is have a stock taking on your road for the drinks. I don't understand it. Well, like if all the drinks free, all you're doing stock taking for what? To see how much you have to reorder in the White Oak or something like that, or to see if the bar people drinking out any of the liquor. What is all you doing? I feel like it's just a ploy to not get you to drink no more. Like, all you have a limit on how much people should drink, or all you have a limit on how much you're willing to pay for the bar. So to make sure the bar ain't run out, all you come and check out. You say, what, 10 o'clock? And it's only about two more cases of White Oak here, what stock taking? And the stock taking lasting about 45 minutes. I don't like that. And I find when you stop for your lunch stop, the drink truck should be somewhere where I could still get. Why the drink truck gotta go somewhere where I can't get a drink at all? We don't want to be sober at no point. We want to drink liquor from 7 a.m. to 11 more whenever all is stop for lunch. And we want to eat fast, take a quick sleep, and take some drinks while we're doing both. You know what I mean? But salute to Tribe. Tribe had 3 days of about band launch over the weekend. Starting on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, every night they had thing. And the Friday night was a freako on the avenue. Anytime you see, I said this about Hoppy and Scott last week, right? Anytime you see Hoppy and them advertising something, that means it bus and they need the Marish and Parish, the normal man, they need to buy tickets now. So they started advertising. When them fellas think scoring, them is studying me and you to see if you could get ticket. You have to beg them to get ticket. So when I see Tribe doing something for free, I say, wait now. Like the recession really reached, the uptake on Carnival is not where it used to be. We thought that people would be excited and looking forward to Carnival and trying to get back out as fast as possible. But it's looking more like if people on a little bit of a go slow when you see Tribe having freako. You know, something ain't right. But it don't seem like if that was the case. It don't seem like it had to do with low sales or low anticipation or demand for the band. It seemed as though they just wanted to do something on a grand scale, almost to make up for the years that they would have missed. Not just band launching season, but the whole of Carnival. And they had a procession on the avenue. No, that is not for me. Oh, I should say that my foot not good, so I can't go and stand there for so long. But I get all in all, yeah. When I see that thing happening on the avenue, my first thought was, thank God me ain't nowhere close to that. Like when you know you're closer to 17 on your younger years, because I don't know if I could take that to the crowd, boy. The first thing I started to study is where I go sit down, my back hurting, my foot hurting, how far to walk back to park, if my car's safe. From the time you hear thinking like that, you're all like the hills. Because think about it, long time when we hear them kind of thing, we're not missing that. However we reach. When we reach home, we reach home. But now I trying to avoid that at all costs. I know if only went in. I sincerely doubt that many of the listeners to this podcast would have gone into that Tribe on the avenue. But it looked like a good time because they do more than just a music truck rolling down the road kind of thing. And their mass camp is just off the avenue too. I want to say Rosalino Street, I hope. And you know, they take up a good portion of the avenue, block it off, and they had a few different types of events going on. Salute to them for including the traditional carnival as part of it. I see them do a kind of Tobago jig. I don't know if that was a wedding, a little belly dancing, a little traditional Indian. You know what I mean? They keep the thing nice, man. I like how Tribe do it on the avenue and also to get the average person involved in carnival, because Tribe being the biggest brand in carnival, I would say. Can I say that? Being the biggest brand in Carnival, they have a certain air about themselves, a certain level of exclusivity and high price that makes it unaccessible to the average person. Because between Bliss, Tribe, Lost Tribe, Hearts, them thing is not something the average man go and just jump in. 40-something, 100 plus. Yeah, there's a bunch of people you had to beg to spend your money. You had to call them and this, and you had to be on lists, and that's a hard thing for most people to do. So it was good that they were able to include the general public as what they're doing. And I hope that is something that Tribe will continue to do, not just for the band launching or for the sake of their own expose. Because if the ticket on them wasn't selling too good for the band launching thing, one good way is to just get everybody involved and do something on a grand scale and they get the same amount of publicity, you know what I mean? But it does seem like that was the case. So salute to them for the Friday procession. I believe Saturday they had the official band launch. You know, I never like band launch. I don't know if I always go band launch and thing, but I find, my thing about it is this. I always find when you're going and listen to soca, when you're going in a fete, I have a certain amount of looseness that's come with a fete. It was different back then, and it had more to do with my youth then than now. I don't think I could do them things now. Although I still lose a little shirt from time to time. You had to throw away a jersey and thing, just to keep people guessing. You can't go home in the jersey, you went out it. Don't do that, right? But I throw my jersey and thing it fete. I fete in way. The whole clothes we have in that time is a breakaway, a complete let loose. That's what Carnival was about, right? We celebrating our freedom. That's how I feel on a Carnival Monday and Tuesday. Spiritual thing to me. So the band launch thing was always tricky for me because number one, it's not Carnival season. And as a man, like to work during the course of the year. And when Carnival come, I don't like to work. So I don't like to get out of work mode too early, like in August. We in July now, you know what I mean? And the other thing is, it's not really a fete. So you're going to a soca event, people dress up and thing, and they have the costumes on stage, but it's not really a fete. And I don't think it's hard to get into fete mode because the presentation of all the costumes, it used to be so long. This section come out and they show you the two costumes, everybody clap, and there's a kind of modeling show. Now I don't know if that changed from then till now, because the last time I went to a band launch, it had to be early 2000s, if that, you know what I mean? So maybe it changed now and is an all-out fete, but not from what I seen on social media. It's looking like the same thing where people go to pose and watch. And it always make me wonder, and that's why I salute the tribe for doing this on a Friday as well. Sorry, doing the RPC Avenue thing. Because I always wonder if the band launch has to be a fete. For all these bands for over all these years, we can't conceptualize a different way to do band launch yet that could be more enjoyable for people. So a mass, not necessarily the same people who come into all your fetes or who come into play mass by you might be interested in our band launching, because there are people who, just for the artistic side of it, what the costumes look like, the models, there are people who would be interested in seeing that. I think you have an audience for that. So I always wondered why you wouldn't use a Napa or a Sapa or Queen's Hall and do this kind of band launch where you make it into an event or a musical presentation, because the band usually has a theme, right? So sorry to use Machel as the example, because I mean it's a hard thing to compare Machel to anybody in this world. But when Machel come and say, all right, here we're going on is rat race. This is what the band is about. You have a theme, you have a concept as to how he's going to present himself on his stage. And people cussing because man want to play the mass and whine low and hold the standard and roll. And Machel on his stage for 2-3 hours. I always felt like maybe, especially now with a National Center for Performing Arts or Academy for, what is this? National Academy for Performing Arts? NAPO. When you go there, you have people who come and sit down and take it in, and we have so much of the thespians here and so much of writers. You could get a play done that encapsulates what the band is trying to represent and do your full production. You have a hour and a half, 2-hour production there that introduces the concept for the band, introduce the different costumes, the different sections, all the models. You have a narrator who telling you a story about it. And I was glad to see that Tribe did something like this for my boy Salcedo over the course of the weekend. I always go back to that, what they had as during the virtual times now, when we couldn't go nowhere. Tribe had something online. I can't remember the name of the thing now. I only thinking Ice and Ignite. But they had something online where they were showing you, it was a story basically, it was like a play. And they showed you different elements of the carnival coming together. And Salcedo was the star in that one. This one, he was the narrator on the avenue. So I like that. I find we need more things like that. And I am sure that could appeal to a wider audience. It's one of the ways when they're talking about traditional carnival and them things dying and the characters dying. And I'm not sure if people would accept that. It's a good place to take the band launch out of a fete and make it into something that children could go to, younger people, to see where your carnival come from and what the riots were like, and what, if that's the case, right? I'm not saying you just do the Cambule riots every year. I'm just saying that whatever tribe presenting, because you're a younger audience. When I say younger audience and children, right? Let me define. You all the way from 12 to 15, 16, where you can't play mass yet. Your parents ain't putting you on your road yet. I ain't sure you could play in tribe when you're under 18. How is the situation when you're under 18? You've got a non-alcoholic band or something? This never done on me before. You could play in an adult band. But those who transitioning from kiddies, because you're too big for kiddies and you're too small for biggies. So what you could probably do is involve yourself in things like tribe and stuff and help your audience transition. So by the time they see band launches in this new format that would appeal to them, they're done ready to line up and come in. Now, I'm going to use a bad example of this in marketing, right? The cigarette people was the best people at this, right? It's a bad example, but the cigarette people was the best people at this. What they had understood a long time ago was that maybe we have a target audience that will die if they use our products too much, right? So one of the ways you could solve that problem is to try to make a product where people go live, right? But they didn't choose that route. What they decided is that, okay, if we're going to die and my people who buying from me getting smaller and smaller as a group, what I could do is get the next group coming up under them ready to smoke. So you can't smoke until you reach 18, right? So what we could do is invest in things like what we used to go by Ali Young and buy from Newton Boys. Imagine your mother gave you a little dollar and thing. You taking 25 cents out of your dollar to go and buy a pack of cigarette sweetie. He opened me a cigarette. The pack used to come with candy sticks. It was terrible. You know what I mean? It was just little sticks of candy looking like cigarette. And you as a little fella could go and pay 25 cents to have about 6 in the pack. And you take all that and you practice to smoke. It is proven that these cigarette companies were the ones behind the marketing of cigarette sweetie and them kind of thing. So when you look at our generation of which used grew up smoking cigarette, they were preparing us for cigarette smoking from a very young age and transition us in. So that by the time we reach 18, we've done accustomed to the hand-to-mouth thing that them psychiatrists talk about that could get you addicted to smoking cigarette. A part of the addictive nature is putting some in your mouth, right? You make sense of that for me. So the bands have an opportunity, I feel like, to do these types of things. And this is where I always go back to people like NCC and Tuku and stuff. These are the people who you have to work with, because what I could tell you is this. If NCC had an event on your avenue, you still need the same set of people to draw this crowd. You can't draw no crowd by yourself. We done proved already. You are a governing body. Set policy, set framework, set vision, set direction. And then work with people like this to say, okay, how can we incorporate different audiences into this idea of a band launch? So you're doing it for commercial success, yes, but they have certain things that we want to do for the longevity of Carnival. Well, I talk about that too much. I talk about that for years and years and years. Right? I'm going to leave it alone now. Sunday, the men went and do Last Jam. I was surprised at this too. Like, I find it's a good idea though, because youths was something to do. And talking about youths, I was saying on this podcast the other day, I tell a young lady by the name of Sadie, I said, don't let your father see what you had on. I don't think she'll listen, so she'll let your father see. I don't listen to this podcast. Hope you don't listen to it. Like, enjoy your time in Taiwan, brother, and don't watch your daughters. Don't look at what happened here. You just focus on your coaching of your team in Taiwan. Because all hell break loose since you're gone. But I see Anika too going down in the Last Jam. I find it's a nice concept where they didn't get to do a Last Jam for the last 2 years because obviously it had no carnival. And I think we have a tested and proven concept here now that a middle of this, what is called Java, whatever you want to call it, right? I don't want to say summer. But in the middle of the summer, you could have a whole carnival vibe where you do another fete season, which is another opportunity for people to make some money and youths enjoy themselves in a positive way and so on. Don't kill nobody when they leave any fete, but youths enjoy themselves in a positive way and do some different things, because should I talk about the dance all in the carnival? But let me hold on for a minute before I talk about that, right? But outside of the carnival season, the hardcore carnival season, it gives an opportunity for different types of music to be played in these fetes and a different kind of exposure for artists like Young Brother and them to pass through, who was also in the tribe. I believe he come and perform in the band launch when they were going through one of these sections. So salute to them. I'm happy for Tribe. Well, you nearly catch me with this move, eh? Well, you nearly catch me. I tell myself, oh God, boy. A little fickle, because I made a big commitment to humor, saying I'm playing the humor for life. But when Tribe do this on the avenue, I start to feel a little tribe-ish. I start to feel a little bit tribal. But then I remember how bad my foot was. I played Tribe here, I tell you. And I've never felt foot pain like that. I don't know what make Tribe. Why the trucks had to move so fast? All I don't know, people do little Achilles surgery and things. Is me alone have foot problem? The trucks don't necessarily need to move so fast. Also, the route don't need to be so long neither. You see why I like Fantasy? Fantasy used to start, it come like Fantasy started in Roxy and the whole mass finishing on RP. Fantasy route was real short and the band was small. You can't lose nobody. Even in humor, it have certain men I play mass with last year. These gentlemen that I play mass with, right? Let me put the names out there. There's a guy by the name of Andre Burton Hinkson. A fellow by the name of Osmond Cleveland Prevat. Another fellow named Ansel Augustus Mervyn Duncan. These boys is the most late communist people I've ever seen in my life. These fellas should get them men is tell we reaching for a certain time. And when I reach there, I call them men now leaving a Rima. With all kind of apologies and things, which I don't need because carnival time, so me care, me vex. But I'm alone. I'm lonely. But I could make a friend. I must find a partner to talk to. I go make a friend. But we see me, when they say the band leaving 7 o'clock Tuesday morning, I want to be there 7:15. so that I could get my cup ready and everything. So when 7 reach, I could just hand somebody my cup and just fill it up with white oak and coconut water, and I good for the day. I like to be there very, very early. But these boys don't reach it about 10, 11. So they had to find out from where the band is and them kind of thing. We never had these problems with fantasy. Because what used to happen with fantasy, right, is I could be there from 7. These mofos calling me about 9:30 to say they're now leaving home. When I tell them, yeah, the band by the Oval. Them leave for Remo. And when they call me back to see, they say, all right, we in town, where the band is? I was like, by Roxy. Fantasy had a little slow crawl. Them ain't really moving so fast. And then when we come during the day now, even if you lost them, men gone for drink, who gone so, who meet partner, who all kind of things that happen on the road. But it's so easy to find people back. I want to say that there are men in that little crew that I call there that I never see. When I see them Carnival Monday morning, I never see them again till night time. And well, the way my pants this cut and the way my pants set up, my phone can't fit. I need a little Me Too. I need a StarTAC. I wonder if anybody have a little StarTAC they could lend me. StarTAC is make a little digital. I need a little burner phone for on the road because I can't. My pants too short for this big phone. It will be coming out the bottom of the pants. I can't wear that. But Tribe and all. Tribe, you have no hope. When you lost people, that is it. You're not seeing them again. You know what I mean? Tribe is the Bermuda Triangle. Humor a little bit better, but it's just too big. It's too much people. So when them say you buy truck 1, and them say by truck 5, you go see me next year Carnival. I'm not walking all that way. Reach up by me or next year Carnival. No love lost. I play mass with these fellas every year. So I was quickly reminded, despite all this revelry and how good it looked, I was quickly reminded of my foot pain when I play with Tribe. Tribe is the only band I ever play with in this era of my playing time because it's only the last 5 years or so I play mass. And before that, I was playing with Poison and them. But Tribe is the only band where, you see when that band reached Matura Street by my mother, you know, this come through St. James and turn down by Subway, my mother on that street. Come and look for my next year Carnival. I was done. I did not move from there. I went inside, bathed, and I come and watch other bands and things. I could not make. My foot was hurting. I remember points on the road being barefoot. Now, I will admit that I'd gone. I like to do fancy things. Because when I cut my pants short, I like to buy sneakers or matching my pants too. And I went and buy what they used to call a TN long time, but it have a Vapor Max TN. It was a terrible. It is the most uncomfortable shoe I ever wear. I give it away. The sole of the shoe hard like stone. I don't know how that could be a sneaker. But it was terrible at playing mass. So I quickly reverted from my Tribe love back to my humor love. And humor will find me. And here we are +1-2 for the Carnival. We are +1-2 because our partner who, my boy Edmund, I always talk about him on this podcast. He's confirmed that at least one of the 2 days he will be on the road with us in humor. I just call him now at my age. Every damn thing he talk about now, he's be talking about at my age this and at my age that. But at his age, he come in humor and he playing with me at least one of the days. And then the second day, he go in Lost Tribe. Now, I'll say some things about Lost Tribe, right? Tribe organization and think European, you know, and the costumes well made. It always Tribe is a very good looking band. The costumes good looking, the people good looking. The process good looking, you know what I mean? These are the things they're looking for in marketing. You know? They used to see price, product, place, promotion, process, physical evidence, and people. And Tribe scoring high on all 7. All 7 they scoring high. And I'm watching Lost Tribe now. I say, but wait. What I didn't realize now is Tribe or Lost Tribe is really Tribe for transitioning geriatrics. It's when you're getting old like hell. Right, bless this to geriatrics, right? But Lost Tribe apparently in marketing it have a thing called brand positioning, right? So the way it's work is you make a brand and everything, and then you have to watch all your competitors and try to see, okay, what I go do different from them? What I go do similar to them? How I will make people choose me over my competitors? And what I call brand positioning, right? So Tribe targeting them little youths, that's Anika and Sadie and them. Lost Tribe and them is Miso, and Bliss and them I ain't gonna call no name. Bliss is when you're parking up. After Bliss is you used to play mass, you know, long time, and you used to play mass and all that. So that's what's come after Bliss. So they nearly catch me with the Lost Tribe, you know, because watching the Lost Tribe, the quality of the costume and them looking good in the Lost Tribe, somehow it have a vibe, and I'm watching them a few years now, you know. But every time I see him on I ain't lying, Lost Tribe is too much a cloth for me, you know. As a man need the shortest pants I could get. I don't wear nothing else. I wear the shortest pants I could find, according to Rio. My chest are drawers, no drawers. Because the drawers too long, the pants short. You know what I'm saying? So I can't. Is that my inners, right? Don't feel like a swinging engine is inners, right? But the drawers too long. So Lost Tribe now is for people. It's for people who wearing a big long white boxers. Because I see Lost Tribe has some like long pants. Last time I played mass, they had like Aladdin. The men in long pants and the point of the shoe flip back wrong with a bell on the shoe, and they have on a turban. And my first thought was, this is too much a cloth. I can't play mass like that. Why are you playing mass and all this other clothes in this hot sun? I'm not doing that. And what I realize now is that unlike me, most of the people playing in the transition into geriatrics group of mass playing, them don't reach 7 o'clock and stay there till 7 o'clock. Them playing mass and they're telling you about Lost Tribe and this and that. And all the cloth and cloth is so comfortable and it's light and breezy and all this kind of thing. Because only people on convents and college and things playing that about it. And when they started telling you about how great it is and them thing, they doesn't tell you that them coming out 11 o'clock in the day and by 3, 4 o'clock them pack up. Don't tell them, you know. Don't listen to these people. Carnival is a time I just want to get free. I want to get naked. So the nakedness done stopping me from the Lost Tribe already. But the next things, every time I watch people in Lost Tribe, right? No disrespect to my Lost Tribe friends and family, but every time I watch people in Lost Tribe, all of them are to my education. I want freedom. It has too much opinions in one band, too much activism. Everybody in Lost Tribe have a cause. Who's standing for women's rights and this LGBT, who's standing for men's rights and the thing and toxic. I don't want to talk about nothing on your road. I just to get naked and wine low. Although it's really wine low in my mind, because I can't tell you that me whining. I just want to chip along the truck and thing, but I don't want to hear no thesis about nothing and why things change and Butler and why they should change the names of the streets and talk. And you know, when they're passing down Abercrombie Street now, we want to have a sit-down protest and a lecture and I think peace because why we don't change his name from Abercrombie. I can't take it with Lost Tribe, I'm being honest. It's looking good and everything, but I feel like it's more human. It's more of a human because in humor, Nobody don't have no cause. Nobody not burning no tires in humor. The only tires we really trying to burn is the few that we had to burn before we head up in the road because that transition in age group doing well. And you think about humor too, humor plenty young people in there, but you could find a good bit of 40s where you could have a good time at a very slow pace and just enjoy yourself. You know what I mean? Just enjoy the thing. So last Luther Tribe was I saw that Tribe. I'm not sure what this had to do with Tribe, to be honest, other than Tribe being the vessel. Oh, it was at a Tribe event. But I saw Machel Montano being presented Keys to the City by Joel Martinez. You may put this way now. If you ask me, I would have thought that Machel already had keys to the city. I think if they have anybody who could lay claim to the city, I don't know. How we think will be Machel? I was trying to find a list of people who already have keys to the city, and you know where I'm going, right? I'm going right back to what I was talking about. Independence coming back again, and also we got to talk about all the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago and them kind of thing. But keys to the city is a blessing for somebody to accomplish enough to even be considered or to be given keys to the city of the capital. I don't know if any of the other cities we have other cities. Any of the other cities we have, there's give out keys like Scarborough City. They don't give out no keys. I find that's a nice thing. I like the vibe. I'll tell you something, right? I think I talked about this here before, but one time we had to meet with Jack Warner. And this was we were doing work for Sony at the time. And when we reached the CONCACAF office, what used to call the TTFA office, TTFF or CONCACAF office or whatever it was, when we reached in the office outside of his conference room, he had a room full of trophies and all the accolades, right? And pictures with Obama, pictures with the Pope, and you know what I mean, just showing you who Jack Warner is. And he had keys to so many cities, keys to Atlanta. I remember that one stood out. But keys to so many cities around the world. I mean, and now they're looking to give he keys to throw away. You know what I mean? The key, where he going, it might not no key for there at all. I hope one of the keys to one of the cities could open where they want to put him right now. But the thing about it is such an impressive thing to see somebody live a life where they have keys to all these cities. So I didn't realize that they give out keys to Port of Spain or keys to all cities in Trinidad and Tobago. But I'm happy. And I'm sure this is not the first, but I'm happy that Machel Montano is one of the recipients of one of these keys to the city. And I think it was great, man. I think it was great to see. It's a proud moment for him. It's a proud moment for all of us and for the city of Port of Spain. You need a little mural, a little statue. You could do them thing while they're still alive, or we still save that for when people go in. But before I move on from Tribe and Machel, I want to talk a little bit about Liz Montano and the book as well. I just want to read a few things from the Tribe CEO, Dean Akin. He said, Newsday. Speaking of the Newsday, Tribe CEO Dean Akin said he was heartened by the support and the turnout of the crowd. He said the large presence was evidence that the public, while aware of the pandemic, were ready to continue their lives as normal. I think people have pent-up emotions, pent-up energy, and they want to release. I would like to say that clearly. Barney daughters have to release. You see it here tonight. Last night was similar. We were even more amazed at the turnout on our Peter Avenue, the vibe, how everyone just came out to have nice, clean fun. They enjoyed our cultural show, and I think people are ready to start living normal lives again. I agree with Dean Akin, man. I think it brings some normalcy to the thing. Maybe I'm not so used to seeing big crowds and that kind of thing yet. Maybe it will take me some time to get there, but I was glad that it did. I'm continuing to read from the Newsday, where Machel is concerned. Soca icon Machel Montano has been bestowed with the symbolic key to the city of Port of Spain. The presentation was made by Port of Spain Mayor Joel Martinez on Friday as part of mass company Tribe Carnival and Ultimate Events launch of Sunset Weekend. This is proof that I can't play Tribe. They spell Sunset Weekend SUNSETWKN. Anybody under my age would have figured out what I mean immediately. I was so confused. I thought it was a sketchy one. The weekend-long launch of Tribe 2022 Carnival presentation on New Dawn. The event was held at Arpita Avenue, Port of Spain. Montano, in accepting the honor in recognition of his 40th anniversary as an entertainer, said his aim was to continue inspiring others. Now, think about that, right? Machel celebrating 40 years as an entertainer. That means most of the people who was in Tribe last jam, Machel was singing 20 years before them born. And them still jamming to Machel's song now. You see, that deserves the keys to the whole damn country. He called on the audience to let integrity be at the forefront of their lives. He said, education is key. And if I could make it here, any one of us could make it here. Just stick with integrity and do. One day I will learn to read, right? Just stick with integrity and do it to the service of mankind. Make them happy, make them inspired. He says, so I'm really glad for this key. I'm grateful for this key. And I'm grateful to receive this key to Port of Spain because it's very important to the culture of Trinidad and Tobago. He added, every opportunity is key. People ask me, what is the key to success? The key to success is consistency, integrity, and putting your best foot forward and being fully involved. But most importantly, doing it in service of mankind. That is why I do music. Montano said he evolved by continuously learning new techniques to better his craft and encourage others to do likewise. He told the audience about his first entertainment trip to Port of Spain from Siparia in 1984. Then, just a little boy, he went to the city hall with his mother Elizabeth to participate in the junior calypso competition, which he eventually won. It was his third year in the industry, and the victory was sweeter as he recalled having to leave the stage dejected because his cassette, which had his accompanying music track, malfunctioned. In a corner alone and being laughed at, a woman told him if he could teach the band his song in time, he would be accompanied and have another chance at the title. This he did in rest is history. I mean, that's impressive. At 1984, Machel had to be, 6-7 years old? Your cassette going through and somebody come and tell you, listen, tell me this song and we will play it for you. Amazing. Montano said While that was the beginning of his career, him receiving the key to Port of Spain, the epicenter of Carnival in the country, gives him the strength to continue for another 20 years. Martinez said Montano is an inspiration to all, not just in the industry. He said Montano deserves the honor of having the key to the city, as he's a trailblazer who is known as the king of soca. Montano said the honor was just not earned for himself, but on behalf of his friends, family, and fans. He said in thinking of a key, he also thinks of a door and a window. Right. He said in thinking of a key, one thinks of a door and a window. And this will be a window of opportunity for him to share his wisdom and experience as he continues to pave the way for those coming behind. That last paragraph is clearly written by Sad Guru, right? That was some Sad Guru thing there. You see, when I get a key, I just think about a door and a window. We need a window for the key, you know. All right. Salute to Machel. Much deserved. I would love to see more like this. I don't want to get into the thing that I usually get into to start to ask who are key. Because it has some names coming to my mind not saying if Machel have a key, then them should have a key. But I will not do that. I'm just going to celebrate the fact that Machel has been given keys to the city. And one of the things that I was looking at his mother writing a book. Really a biography, her experiences about Machel, right? And I heard her on an interview with Blaze and them recently, talking about why she wrote the book, and I was particularly interested in the cover art. She chose the cover art for the episode as a picture we might have all seen. I'll throw it up here if I could. Let me make a note because he's not a young man. This photo is with Machel, Sparrow, Shadow, and Kitchener. And a bunch of legends, and she said the picture looking like they're holding them up. I believe she said it was in Madison Square Garden, and she used that picture because she said that it really seemed as though it was a picture where some icons were trying to pass the baton, trying to say like, okay, this thing in good hands, or this is where we're going with it. So salute to her. I'm very happy that the book is there. I think it's available for pre-order. She was making it a point to have it available in all the local bookstores, which I like a lot. I kind of like that. I'm much more into audiobooks, right? And it's just easier for me to digest. And yeah, as you all know on this part, I don't read so well, right? As a man, I have to read. When I read in a book, I have to read the same thing over and over and over before I understand what I'm reading. I don't know if there's some kind of issue or something I have, but reading is difficult for me, right? So it takes me real long to read a book, just like watching a series. Stacey put me on to Game of Thrones recently, right? My foot's sick, so I can't make no fuss because my head go bust, right? So I try to behave, and if the woman say, let me watch Game of Thrones, and you know, this little foot sick thing was going good. When you see Stacey had to carry Zachary to work, because I could stay home and watch my reruns in peace. The reason I watch reruns a lot is because sometimes when I'm watching a series, I don't know if it's because I have attention disorder or something, but I just be watching the TV. And I'm watching the thing going along, and then I see some character up here, and I say, who's this white man? Especially when it's white people. Like, I can't tell them up. I was like, who's this next white man? And I had to go back 3 episodes now to see when he come in. And listen, that is annoyed the hell out of Stacey. Or I'm watching a series, right? But on my phone. And then I hear some kind of boom. When I turn around now, I say, what happened there? And I've gone back about 2 minutes to see. She's get annoyed like hell, which as she should. But it was so nice when I was home here by myself and I could have just watched my reruns in peace. When she home now, as I turn on, I have a short list. It's Better Call Saul, Breaking Bad, The Flight, Django, Irishman. I have a list of things where when I need comfort, I just go and put on one of them movies. She's like, oh, watch this again? Come now, watch Game of Thrones. So I'm watching Game of Thrones. But let me tell you something about Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones might be, I don't want to say this. Like, I don't like to empower these people who like to talk about Game of Thrones over and over. Maybe Ozark is my top series, and maybe Sopranos up there too is my top, along with Breaking Bad, right? But I think Game of Thrones is the best series they ever write, you know? Because I like character development, right? I like how they write in the stories behind the characters, where they come from, how they conquer, how they grow up. I like those things. That's what makes Sopranos such a great series. I don't think anybody doing that. I ain't reached nowhere in Game of Thrones, and I think I'm on season 3 or something like that, or season 4. I think there are 8 seasons, so I have a long way to go. But boy, they's developed characters, and they ain't shy about killing people. Man, just dead. When the show started, that man was a star of the show. I said, well, all right, he's the man to take. Next time I see Bam beheaded. I said, but what the hell kind of series is this? And it's big budgets, big scenes, like thousands of people acting in this thing. And watching it with Stacey is a little better for me because she's explained to me who is this one and who is this one and who is Stanson, who is Cersei, and some man is look like Nuno from who's Coach Wolves and Stanislas. I don't know. I can't remember none of these people. I don't know none of these damn white people. John Starks. I know John Starks a basketball man. Me know John Starks or John Snow. I don't know none of these people. So I always asking her like, who's this person? Who's this woman? Who's this red hair again? Who's the little child? How's she in charge? How them turn king? How he's a child and he's a king? I don't understand. He don't have a mother. You're a father. How this one is father and that one is not a king? So I be confused most of the series. Largely because maybe I just don't pay attention enough to what's going on. So if I was watching Game of Thrones by myself, I would probably be still on season 1. Gotta go back over and over and over. So that's why I watch reruns, right? But that's why I don't read books too. I don't know how I read so far. That's why I don't read books too, because I started to read over the same page over and over and over before I started to understand what's going on. So audiobooks better for me, but I mean, since in the market for a center table, again, a little sophisticated and I'm starting to step up in life, right? So instead of my living room, you know, woman is a hell of a thing in your life. And as a man, you don't know that you need a center table. But woman does know. So now that I get a center table, I want the first book that I buy to be by Lady Montano. And I want to have it on my center table. I like the idea of having that as a conversation piece home by me, where people can come home and see not just one, but 4 greats on the cover of the book, and a book written by a great herself in Lady Montano about Machel. I think it's a nice little thing to have. So I'm going to try to figure out how when I get her book. So she's making it available in local bookstores. Nice little hard copy. I see Machel showing it on his Instagram and promoting it and stuff. So I'm going to get a nice little hard copy and make it my coffee table book, because I am sophisticated, and that's what sophisticated people do. So salute to Machel for the keys of the city. Salute to Lady Montano for having her book launched. I'm probably never going to read that. I'm probably going to buy the hardcover for the tabletop, for the coffee table. And then I'm going to get the audiobook and read, because I'm not a young man. These things come very, very difficult to me. Now, let me jump into, that is a cultural weekend. And also, while we celebrating here in Trinidad, Tobago doing a thing too. So, J'ouvert, who's this Bible? I'm sure it's Michael Mondesi. No, Corey Connolly. Hundreds attend J'ouvert in Plymouth after 2-year hiatus. And, you know, I talk all about Machel, and I play a little Machel. All right, we're going to a little Machel unit shortly, right? Hundreds of people turned out to J'ouvert celebrations in Plymouth, Tobago on Saturday. But many said they didn't enjoy them. What? I didn't expect this to go this way. To tell you the truth, I just see the headline saying J'ouvert in Plymouth, and I say I go talk about that. I should read the articles before I come to record. Hundreds of people turned out to J'ouvert celebrations in Plymouth, Tobago on Saturday, but many said they did not enjoy themselves. Some people left even before sunrise. Oh God. The J'ouvert followed Friday night's opening of the 35th edition of the Tobago Heritage Festival at Shopper Complex in Scarborough. The revelers, many of whom were unmasked, began arriving in Plymouth from as early as 4 a.m., eager to participate in the J'ouvert, which was not held over the past 2 years owing to the pandemic. So I thinking this had to be great. Just like tribe thing, right? If you ain't do nothing in 2 years and you get a J'ouvert, how is it going to be great? But some people told the Sunday News that the long-awaited event did not live up to its annual standards. This is the PDP fault. This would never under the PNM would a J'ouvert have been boring and people leave before. This is the PDP. I was voting for PDP and Wally lost a couple stripes. So, Watson, I'm to Farley and them come on boring up Tobago J'ouvert. A man said this is not what we are accustomed to do. Something was missing. The something that was missing is the People's National Movement. Another complaint about the choice of music played by the DJs. I feel them DJ playing that kind of music because people tell them they want the thing to finish early. In other words, the DJs play lal. Although the old school soca music blared from speaker boxes at strategic points along the parade route, the revelry was noticeably absent. Although that's kind of sad. I see the pictures and think the thing looking like it was vibes. Even saw a total of 11 bands cross the judging point, while some people dance and chip to the music, others simply walked down the street as if searching for excitement. This is pretty depressing, Corey Connolly. Maybe you should have let Michael Mondesi write this. The relatively sedate atmosphere argued well for the heavily armed police officers who argued? Augured. The relatively sedate atmosphere augured well for the heavily armed police force who kept watch over the celebration. Plymouth J'ouvert has had some violence incidents in the past. Also, salute to both Tribe and Plymouth J'ouvert for having everything safe, no major incidents, no kind of violence coming out of that. I think we deserve a round of applause for that, right? That's a good sign for us here. Now, something this fella say in this article, I thought this was a good story, but something this fella say in the article I find kind of true, to be honest with you, right? J'ouvert, when I saw play J'ouvert, there was a time when it was normal to play J'ouvert before you play a mass, right? Now, I will say that age might be a factor here, right? Because I don't think I could make J'ouvert and mass on the Monday. And if I play J'ouvert, I probably ain't reach until the tribe, what do you call the thing again? Lost tribe people, 1 o'clock in the evening, 2 o'clock, and now reach and leaving by 4 or 5 o'clock. You know what I mean? I must play mass like it's a fete. But I might be able to make my normal 10 o'clock time if I go J'ouvert, if we being honest. So I kind of leave out the J'ouvert partly because of age, but I would say it's about 10% because of age, to be honest. Because we played J'ouvert maybe up to 6-7 years ago with same Edmund and his wife hunting in I can't remember the name of the band now, boy. Some kind of fancy band too with hard to gain, and wasn't that good enough. It was hard. I really didn't have a good time. The security thing in J'ouvert, people need to pay more attention to that and get under control. I think one of my issues with the J'ouvert is just what they're talking about with Plymouth J'ouvert, where there's a violence. Because I remember when J'ouvert used to leave out of Boy Scouts. We used to go Boy Scouts Fete first. And then from Boy Scouts, they used to come straight out on the road. Boy Scouts is Cub Scout Association. What is it called? Cadets Association. Whatever it is. Like by Bricks. It's where Bricks Car Park is now. Coming to think about it. That's where Bricks Car Park is now. That's the same event venue they used to have Boy Scouts and them. I think I was on the next side of it, heading up in St. Anne's there. That was somewhere where we falling in there for fete time. When I say fete time, 8, 9, 10 o'clock them times. And the fete running, and about 1, 2 o'clock the morning, you're heading out onto the road with the same truck. So the bands at the time was not on, they wasn't doing any stages in Boy Scouts Fete. The band used to perform on the trucks. So the fete itself had about 3 or 4 trucks, and you go from truck to truck, and you had that time. Them days Machel was ecstatic. Was with Ecstatic, right? That was the band with Vince and Nappy and Joey Rivers was playing guitar and thing. Boy, listen, that was a bad band. But it was a different time too, because Machel and them was still singing people's songs. I wonder if people from this era remember when Machel used to sing people's songs. Like, no, bands don't do that anymore, very much. Most times you see a band, they're singing only their songs, right? So Kes, Machel, Blacks, rest in peace, they would come and perform their songs. Now, this is why I talk about the era, the band singer, because the band singer, like I would play a song rev then. Back then, it would be Colin Lucas on one side, Ronnie McIntosh on the next side with David Rudder with Charlie's Roots. So the band singers was a special kind of performer because they could sing any kind of genre of music, number one, but other people's songs, and they know the lyrics to the songs. That's a hard thing to do. You're on stage fetting and you know the lyrics to all these songs. Them days had no backing track, you know. It had no Ableton with a man playing the whole record, singing behind you. It's the band driving music coming behind you. You have actual backup singers or on stage with you. And you have to remember, and people come in here to hear hits. So the bands, when a man sing a big song a year, all the bands had to play that song. I waited to hear Traffic or Ecstatic or Atlantic or one of them play them songs. I want to hear Machel sing that big song. Yes, you want to hear the man himself come and sing the song, but the man himself mightn't be a band singer. He might be running on with one of the bands. But taking a little slice of this, and you'll hear Machel of yesteryear with no backing track and thing, and see how great he is. 40 years, I hear this.
You know, girls, you like my boom shots? Watch them, all they want is shorter than that. I can't do that. I can't do that. But I will get a wine. I will get a real wine. And when I come to forward to see all the flags raising.
See, you can hear the voice, huh?
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Start the show. Yeah. Raise your hand in the air. Raise your hand if you feel alright. Raise your hand if you feel alright. Raise your hand if you feel alright.
Yes. Yeah, that band, no record playing behind it.
Are you ready?
Here's your.
We almost. Lions, are you ready for carnival? Tell me.
Yes, Machel. Yes, Machel.
Tell me if you're ready to get on. Bad. Say yes.
And these two men want to fight here, but hear him singing this song.
You ready? You ready? Raise on if you feel alright. Raise on if you feel alright.
I can't play that too long. Alright. I can't do it. I can't do my foot. I can't do it for too long because you see when you bring back them kind of memories for me, it's a problem. But this is how the band thing was. So the trucks used to set up on the bands used to set up on a truck, and them men coming out and give the biggest songs for the carnival, including their songs of yesterday and things. This idea now where a band is only play songs from this year right through. That wasn't the case neither. Bands used to play wherever the hits, wherever people want to hear. And every band would have a little throwback session. They play some reggae, they play some R&B. It was a mix of the music. You know what I mean? So that was how Boy Scouts was like. And then they used to open all the gates for Boy Scouts, and the whole fete basically just followed the trucks on the road. Chinese Laundry would be the one behind it, if I'm not mistaken. So we ain't paying to play no band, or they used to do that in Chinese Association as well. Like I remember Second Image being on a truck, and then we follow Second Image coming out of Chinese Association to go around the savannah. But I hear in that J'ouvert boy, and they start a pelt bottle. I'd hide by one of them big posts by QRC. Because it's just bottle, I don't know where bottle coming from. Thing just breaking all about. And that violence kind of mash up the thing, because I don't want to be no part of that. And then I ain't problems now because it's the thing. My head bust. I don't like that at all. I remember seeing a time, me ain't playing mass. I went to drop my uncle Hackam in the hospital a year. And it was a J'ouvert morning or Carnival Monday. And I seen a girl nose. If you see like somebody bite the girl face, you see them kind of thing, I could do without that. I want no problems. But to be honest with you, my bigger problem where J'ouvert concerned has to do with what that man was saying in the article, because I find the choice of music for J'ouvert, it pretty poor. Because even when I was watching that Tribe thing on Instagram, I tell myself, but like, all these plays, family, and Kong Shell, and this is a song like if everybody fighting, it's like no, you know how officially old, right? Because this is what we old uncle and them used to be telling me long time. We used to be taking them out, right? So you know officially as an old man. Because I don't understand why they need to play the road march or that idea of power soca or the fastest, biggest song right through. Every clip I see on Instagram from what was going on Tribe, over all three events, the song that was playing is 160 BPMs. It's like, what's going on? And J'ouvert, to me, used to start 2 o'clock in the morning or whenever the march got done. Could be even earlier than that. And we chip in most of the night. The joy in J'ouvert was that by the time 4 or 5 o'clock, you're tired. You're chipping going all around the place. You ain't no ways. The place dark and you're having a time. And then about 5 or 6 o'clock when the sun started raising, you get different energy now. But the J'ouvert is a kind of little bit of a chip. So when you hear the music that they're choosing to play for J'ouvert now, I find it killing what J'ouvert used to be. It killing the essence of the J'ouvert. Like when you listen to songs like these, even in modern time, they have enough songs every year to carry a whole J'ouvert. But take in this, as we say, we used to play some Machel. See what I mean? It's a little vibe. So you're on the road and you're taking a little chip going on. They're fast chipping.
There we go. It's all about flooding the street. Keep it flooding. When you see the band come down, blowing all over the town. We join up like a wassail. Full pressure when we start to whine.
water flowing in. So it's like a little chip coming down the road. That was the vibe for it. And it's not like if it don't have the music to do it. And what I find is do sometimes too, even if they choose a J'ouvert song like this, what the DJs is do is speed it up so fast that now it's chip, chip, chip. Oh, you're chipping the water, chip, 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 chip. And it's like, so we're not getting a chance to enjoy yourself and stay in a little groove. And you know what I mean? Back in them days, you're hunting too, so you find a little thing and you think, and it's tripping going down. And you listen, now it's every minute the song changing, the song too fast. You're killing the vibe of the J'ouvert. Even when you listen to this song, right?
Something burning in here. Come on, smoke, rap up. This is how J'ouvert come. Jump up. It's J'ouvert.
I don't remember to stamp my left foot and when I stamp my right foot, all hell could break loose.
Come again. Jump up. It's J'ouvert. So let me jump up. Yeah, where the crew? Let's say pop. I want me powder pussy. Let me see the guns in the air. I want me powder pussy. Sprinkle it like you just don't care. This year we come rough. A J'ouvert band with a plan and a blind man bluff. 3, we ready to flee. The truck done back and the crowd blow up like puffy. We ready to go. Yeah them. Start the greatest show. What they say? Let the powder flow. Yeah them now.
Blow your whistle, we come out to give trouble. And this year, you know, the thing just had a different feel and a flow. And I guarantee you, if you had played these kind of songs for people, and I don't even want to say that it had to be old classics like why I like to play it. You could give people songs at this little pace here and let people enjoy it. People could have a time and be grooving going down the road rather than they fighting. Because how you got energy to play mass if you come and you hear family, and also what's the high point when you're crossing the stage if you hear the road march song and them the road march contenders whole day? And it don't have to be the oldest set of songs like why I like to play, because Savannah Grass have a vibe like that. You could have crossed the stage to Savannah Grass, which we did after they played the road march that they want to push. But it have a vibe where it's a different kind of feeling, and it have classics that will just never die. Hear this.
It's a part of everything, yeah. It's a serious part of the vibe.
I can't sleep at all. I can't sleep at all. Insomnia, 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 insomnia. Straight down the road, man. Straight down the road. What we doing now? Chip, chipping and we chip. Drinks in the heart, take a sip. Hold it pretty gal and by them hip.
And if even songs like this. You have a thing going on already. The dark now, it's dark. You hold on tight. Take a wine day. Take a wine on day. I can't go too far, you know. I'm nearly done for the day, you know. I can't go too far. Even when the sun started to rise now, the pace of the music would have picked up when it come closer to 6, 7 o'clock and thing. But it wasn't going to the road march, it would have go to something like this.
Machel, Montano, featuring Joel Martinez. Baby,
yes.
The way you move your body turns me on. Hypnotize me like a stinker with action.
Okay, see, when the music get fast now, you're done hunting now. Everybody done find somebody, you know, so by this time of morning, something is yours.
Baby, I love the way you're winding up your waist. I just wanna be all up in your face. You are like a target in my side. I wanna get with you tonight. Girl, give me one. Give me a walk on the back of the truck, on the tongue in the street, on the side of the speaker. Push it down in the middle of the tongue pass. Me a the man for why you out of your sneaker. And if I juke up you want then seat ya. And if I wind up you need then seat ya. I'm a return this and a 100 meter. With the hands like a tweeter. Then we move it. I'm whining,
block to block,
I'm drinking.
shot after shot, jiggy with jiggy, yes, so we just can't stop. No way.
And what about this?
This one going and fog up the place.
All right. Relax. This is not J'ouvert morning in the middle of August. What we in? We get the point I'm making, right? These are the songs where some of them have a little tempo, yes, but it's not like the road march. I was surprised. Last J'ouvert I played was with White Angels. I'll ban out of St. James. I was surprised at how much like up tempo music, road march contenders they play in whole days. Like you want to give the J'ouvert players a taste of the Monday and Tuesday, yes. So I ain't saying you ain't gonna play the road march and them thing, but yeah, to play songs where people could groove and have a time. And it's different now because the J'ouvert get condensed. Because of the violence, J'ouvert starting nearly daylight already. Because you could reach, when J'ouvert starting 2 o'clock, you could reach Hingston and them time and still be in the dark. If J'ouvert starting 2, them reaching 4:30 and still get 1.5 of darkness. No. When you reach J'ouvert late, it's hot sun again already. So the whole thing changed. And even when you look at pan being on the road or rhythm sections being on the road, which would be a thing for J'ouvert, a rhythm section could only play fast for a certain amount of time. man hand go bust. Like salute to my Uncle Michael. And you do that same year playing with White Angels. I remember coming up with a street named boy Damien Street. And I already band whole morning and me studying that me and my boy Pablo, we have at that time Pablo Wine and Fat Rat Mother, by the way. Just so everybody know, right? But we have at that time going up the road. And in the midst of the music, you can always DJ music. Okay? I never really play no J'ouvert with steel band like that. But steel bands would be on the road and the sections would be on the road and thing. But in the middle of the thing, I start to hear one of them kind of song playing, like Fog or one of them. And I hear in a piece of iron, and listen, the whole iron is a vibe. When I watch up on the truck to see who beats this man, is my old Uncle Michael, but the old Mike. I leave you home sleeping. And when the J'ouvert, me, you know how he reached. This man come from New York and reach up on a truck, beating iron to this. The thing have a vibe. So I don't know if we I don't expect everybody to be like me and lose themselves in the tradition every day of their life. But I also don't feel we should get to the point where we lose the tradition completely and end up being something else and we know ourselves, because no matter how modern things get, the thing of a foundation, the thing of a formula, it have a way that it will work. And it's not to say that the artists now not making music for that. But every DJ now wants to go in a fete and play the top 10. A man told me the other day, he said it was better when he had more equipment. You know? He said when it had more equipment and he used to carry a record, it used to break a barrier to entry. So not any and everybody could be a DJ and say they come into DJ, this and that. You had to go and learn. You had to go and take your time. You had to spend a lot of money, invest in your time, invest in your talent. So the idea now that anybody could pick up a computer like myself and press 2 things and play 2 songs and act like a DJ, the easiest thing for we to do, because we don't study crowd again, we don't study vibes. I believe it was something I was watching with Jamaican artists again. Oh, there's an interviewer called Teach Them in Jamaica. I'm going to see if he holds silent though. That's what I want to do with our local artists here. Salute to Teach Them. But I watch a lot of his interviews recently, especially so salute to Merciless and he passing on Merciless. Sad news. Merciless are great dancehall artists. But I was watching his interview and one of the DJs was saying that, listen, when you're going to play a dance a long time and you're now coming up, the big sounds like Stone Love and these men, you can't play the hits. You can't play the big song. You have to find songs to play. You have to find songs to play now to keep that crowd on the thing. Because if there's a warm-up DJ, it's a warm-up DJ. People come to hear Stone Love play certain songs. So you can't spoil people's experience by playing out all these Stone Love anthems and all the big hits of the day and them thing. And then when Stone Love come, you're boring up the party for everybody. But that's exactly what DJs is doing now. I tell you, I can't make it. I'm not going back Private Ryan. I said on Private Ryan last year for my $1,000+ to hear Ruction and Do Me a Favor. Don't tell me Bobby. Whatever them 2 songs is, Ruction and whatever the next one is. I hear that over and over and over. So then it's a no high point. It's a no high point when you hear the big song. Everything just boring. These DJs. Some of them ain't no DJ, you know. I salute my boy Dion. I don't know DJ named Dion. When you see that man play, he play music for people, let people enjoy themselves. I don't know, the DJ thing changed. So even in 2022 now, I could give you a list of the songs, Corey Connolly. I could give you a list of the songs they play, that boring up the whole J'ouvert. And no disrespect to them or nothing, but I could tell you, one of them they play over like a rockin' chair and rock, and the youth bad. I've been following young brother for long before when he was Instagram with Red Brick. I've been following him, and I'm glad for his success. But his songs is big songs. I want him get some some proper songs, because you see that chanting, or that could carry you far. When you have like my boy Colonel was telling me this recently, that what you have is a set of hooks. Like you don't have verses, you don't have chorus, you just have a hook. And that bad, and he will mash up dance for a long time. But let me tell you something, you see, song, it's something don't change, Because salute to Prince Swanee. I see they say Swanee now sign a record deal with Rock Nation, right? Which, sometimes we take foreigners to recognize our own before we recognize them, right? But Swanee was always on another level. You have a neutral name, governed, tune bad. But the thing about him signing with Rock Nation is not just about a foreigner acknowledging your talent or somebody else seeing anything, right? It's also you're going to have access to some of the biggest producers in the world. You're going to have access to some of the biggest venues in the world. You're now going to have some access to some of the biggest media outlets in the world. So you will see, because he prepping for album launch. And the fact that Rock Nation signed Swanee before he launched a new album, it tells me that the album good. These men not going to take chances with people. So the album good, he's going to get better management, better access on all that, as I said. So they will choose a single. The singles seem to be governed. And they're going to do the TikTok thing. There's a different time now, right? So they would need radio a little bit, but what they need more is the social media push, right? The TikTok mainly. And Instagram. I'll go and get better with TikTok and things, right? I'll go and get better putting up clips and things, I promise, at one time. But Swanee up there. I want to see young brother get to that point where he signed them kind of contracts too. But what young brother need now is a song. You can't just sing them kind of, although the chants on them really bad. It's like the first one really catch me. When I realized he going to be, I know he was going to be a star, but when I realized he gone was when he sang I'm gonna push back, baby, and I'm gonna push back, baby, and I'm gonna push back, baby. Keep that, baby. He just, the youth, anything he say, just bad. But I want to make a little song, because you see, songs relate to people in a different way. Yes, you wine and you jam and thing, but people just go through all kinds of things in life. People just go through loss. People just go through heartbreak. People just love somebody, but they can't be with them. People just make big achievements in life and celebrate it. People just come from nothing to something. You know what I mean? So, and Swanee, watch Swanee little catalog, right? No, yes, he have a gunman tune and them kind of thing, but he also have plenty songs that just relatable too. Say she ever girl, me ever girl too. This is life, you know what I mean? No, but a winner, breadwinner. I can't remember if that's Swanee. But he have a lot of songs about coming up from zero to hero and all them. Different types of songs that could appeal to different type of people at different times of the year, or different feelings, or different phases of their life. And Rock Nation identify that he has something, and that fella going to be a star. So salute to Swanee. But I could tell you what happened in Tobago. They play that rocking chair song over and over and over, and eventually people get fed up with it. They started hit them at top 10, and in a J'ouvert, at some point you're going to hear spread your hands and let go, or J'ouvert morning. Salute to Doggy Slaughter, who bring back a rhythm called the R&R rhythm. Let me see if I could find it and remind you of what it is. I think it's double R rhythm. And put Blacks and these men on it. I think it was Blacks, M1 and these fellas, and destroy the place completely. Let me see if I can find it.
J'ouvert, all you coming? J'ouvert, sing again. J'ouvert, bang your belly. J'ouvert, hey, we bring the fire when we come down. We bring the fire when we touch down. We bring the fire, so we come out to play, chant and misbehave. We bring the fire when we come.
You see, listen good, yeah? Chip for chip, chip for chip, chip for chip, chip for chip.
Chant and misbehave. How are you give them, give them.
I'm sorry, I had to play this. Sorry.
Salty.
I couldn't do it.
Baby fire in your head all the time.
I couldn't leave it alone.
You want the choppiness inside, eh?
You want speed, you want speed, you want speed.
Look at you,
you want speed.
Look at you with your crew. You, the baby girl, you want to rock it. rock it and rock it. Take your time when you rock it, baby girl. I said, oh Lord, rock it and rock it, baby girl.
Imagine it plays cold 2 o'clock in the morning, oh boy.
Roll and roll, roll and roll.
You have to warm up.
Roll, take your time when you roll and roll.
So that's what I mean. The people bored into be in Plymouth and J'ouvert. Everybody mud down, everybody oil down. It has something. It's our element people looking for. And the artist now giving you them elements. This all like the kind of music I like to play, but it's our elements. It's our the elements of it, and it could make the J'ouvert nice. So salute to Plymouth J'ouvert. I'm sorry to hear that since P&M going on, like Carol and Joel herself and PDP messing up all the J'ouvert. I'm sorry to hear that. I wish that was not the case, but what we gonna do? We gotta get some DJs who know how to make this thing work, man. We have all kind of characters around a J'ouvert that could create the vibe of a J'ouvert. So Tobago with Abyssinia. What is we talking about? You know what I mean? A J'ouvert in Tobago is boring. Should never happen. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Let's see if that improve over time. You know what I mean? People might have to vote back in the P&M. I saw something come across my desk. Friday the 22nd of July at 2022 at 3 p.m. His Worship the Mayor Alderman Cagney Casimir. I hope I have that right. Or Casimir. And the Arima Borough Council invites you to the renaming of Pro Queen Street to Lord Kitchener Avenue. This is a big deal for me. My pause raising when I'm talking about it. This is a big deal for me. I don't know why they give Machel the keys to Kitchener from Arima, right? So the idea of moving it from Pro Queen Street is a prominent street in Arima. So to see a street like that renamed after Lord Kitchener. Boy, listen, these men must be so happy to see these things happen. I want to see more of that. I wish they take a place like Siparia or Arima that births a lot of Calypsonians or where the culture lives so strong on Point 14. We should take one of them places. You see, just like our Federation Park have Barbados and Trinidad and St. Kitts and all them street names. We could do a thing where Point 14 only her name a Calypsonian, Panman, Stickman. You understand where I'm coming from? Just make it a whole cultural fest. I realize I'm losing the battle with renaming the streets of all these wicked slave owners and wicked people after our own heroes, the heroes of the white man. We naming street after. We should rename all of them and rename them into places like Lord Kitchener Avenue. So I want to salute to Arima and salute to the great Lord Kitchener. And I have a Kitchener song I want to play, you know. You know, always has something hold back, right? I discovered this song over the weekend talking to Uncle Michael and them, and I like it a lot. This is a song I hear for years, and I never really know who sing it or where it come from, but it's a song I like. No, understand that these lyrics were from different times. Don't go and take these lyrics and do no revisionist history to try to take down the great Alwyn Roberts Kitchener Avenue. They should name it Kitchener Avenue, Lord Kitchener Avenue. And wherever street it meets in the junction, they should name that Alwyn Roberts Lane. You know what I mean? So don't go back and try to make no revisionist history. The name of this song is Marjorie's Flirtation. The song just nice. Take it in. Yes.
Marjorie, I am tired of you. Cause you are not really true. For every time I walk down the strand, I can hear you were talking to some Yankee man. I'm going to beat you. He was a big Yankee man. I'm going to beat you. He was a rough Yankee man. I'm going to beat you. Darling, I have once been to school, and I am not such a fool, For every time I walk down the strand, I can hear you were kissing up some Yankee man. I'm going to beat you. He was a big Yankee man. I'm going to beat you. He was a rough Yankee man. I'm going to beat you. Marjorie, every time I walk down the strand, I get news you were loving up
Some Yankee man are going to beat you. Beady, pumping man are going to beat you. He talking about bitching in a race, right? I just want to be out there that he not talking about no kind of domestic violence. He talking about you race her and beat her in the race, right? But as Kitchener would say, going down Lord Kitchener Avenue, and I'm going to play this one.
I go fight them in a rima. If they beat me, well it's murder. Tell me mama and me sister and me brother, no surrender. Tell the sergeant not to hold me when I start off mutiny. If they beat me for carnival, I go send them to hospital.
Or what if I play this one too?
Why and she telling me. Why and she telling me. Oh lady walk a mile and a half and she telling me. Oh lady walk a mile and a half and she telling me. Why and she telling me. Bada boom babilo. Why and she telling me. Oh lady walk a mile and a half and she telling me. Lady walk a mile and a half and she telling me. Up the hill, down the hill, was Miss Beto there. She was walking the distance to Point Fontaine.
Oh lady walk a mile and a half and she telele ho ho. Oh lady walk a mile and a half and she telele. Just an interesting fact, right? When he say up the hill, down the hill, when Miss Beto there, you know we talking about that Holly Beto, the mother you was talking about. I hear Holly Beto there say when he heard this song, he was vexed. He didn't like it. How he mocking the grandmother. It was mother or grandmother. How she used to walk all about her Rima and them thing. But he say he grew to love this song as his family get immortalized. So salute to Lord Kitchener. Congratulations to you and getting a street named after. The more accolades we have for these giants, the better. That's part of what I see as my role, you know, to make people who wear nothing, next to nothing to go fat now, so to understand where the thing might have come from and let them run their own leg when they start reaching their 40s, right? I want to just talk quickly before I go. Come off my foot. And say that West Indies cricket starting to rope me back in. I will tell him a problem with West Indies, right? And why West Indies make me stop watching any cricket whatsoever, you know. And I would say that T20 is to blame for why I start back watching cricket at all. Guys watch any sport, you know. But West Indies slowly but surely roping back in. But the problem with West Indies was after the era of Richie Richardson captaincy, we used to watch her. And even during that time, because we started lost all then. But when Viv and them was there, we was bad. But I think what started when it started to be Lara and these fellas and all the way down after Richie Richardson era, I should say, when men like Jimmy Adams was captain, Michael Atherton or Keith Atherton, one of them Atherton was captain. Well, listen, we started to reach an era of people who I don't feel care. To be honest with you, they never used to look like if they care if they lost, they care if they win. They never used to look like they're fighting for the game, like if they're playing, you know. I could back any side. I mean, as a Soca Warriors fan, I could backside that loss, and I went in the where you call the place in Marabella in the stadium there and watch St. Fleet as we coach and get licks from side. I stay up all night to watch Bermuda and them kind of side beat Soca Warriors. I had Detroit Pistons fan. I could take years of licks. That don't bother me. What is bother me if I were a team who I feel not fighting? Like they do, you know what I mean? I fighting more than you. My blood pressure high. And I ain't able to that. I'm not doing it. And that make me turn my back on West Indies cricket completely. It had a point in time where West Indian cricketers was more interested in how they looking, how much a gold chain they have, how neat their shirt is in their pants, how much different fancy kind of shades they could wear, how much bat endorsement they could get. That was what West Indies cricket started to be about. And I wasn't watching who's world boss and who's universe boss and who's I don't know part of that. I cannot back teams that not fighting for themselves. But I don't know what it is now. And I don't know if I missed something too, because under Puran, I find the side have a little bit of a fighting spirit. So India is doing a tour of West Indies right now. And I see a different level of fight from this team. Because number one, they play 2 1-days. And to tell you the truth, the only reason I turn on the TV, well, one, become a foot sick and nothing better to do. But the only reason I turn on the TV is because I really thought that it was the T20. So I say, well, I go watch a little T20. We always have a chance. Sometimes T20 could be like the flip of a coin. So I say, well, we have a chance. Let me take that in. And when I put it on, I realized it's 50 overs, but the score was decent. And to tell you the truth, if the score wasn't good, I was probably coming off of that immediately. So I don't start trying to frustrate myself. I always give my boy Kern, salute my partner Kern. And my father talk about how them just follow cricket down to the last day in care when West Indies playing. Edmund is the same way. We go in West Indies cricket. He traveling to go and watch these men play. And the men lost in after 20 overs and them kind of thing. 50 overs, you make 80 something wrong. I can't take that. I can't handle that. I find like Oli in fighting, me fighting up to watch Oli. But Puran all of a sudden, the 2 1-day games, scored 300 plus runs. No, still West Indies, right? So they lost both. You see the problem about the end row back in? They lost both games. But both games were nail biters. In the last, you have a fighting chance in both games, and you're seeing a team who fighting. There are some things where, like, fundamentally, when I see it, I just can't take it. Like, I don't understand why. Like, we don't have the patience. When a man make 300 runs against you, last time I checked, it has 6 balls in an over, and it has 50 overs. That's 300 balls you're going to face. We don't like singles. I don't know if the T20 mentality is so much in we that we feel we had to make all the 300 on the first ball. But we could also just, like, rotate the strike. You know what they used to teach you in school? Rotate the strike, keep the scoreboard ticking over and so on, so that you don't end up with this big total facing you at the end of the day. But I'm not sure what we'll always be doing with that concern. But still, putting up over 300 runs for the first time in a while is a big... And India is one of the top teams in one-day cricket. They had to be in the top 5, I would think. India up there in one-day cricket, and they I wouldn't say that. I don't want to go as far as to say they're struggling to beat we, but they had a play to beat us. They didn't come in here for no walkover, and you're going in the oval, and you plan to spend a day watching cricket, and the cricket done half day. So I hope that carries on. I think they have a game. By the time you listen to this on Tuesday, they have a game. And they have a T20 on Friday. Who knows? I might end up down in the T20 on Friday. Let me wait and see what happened with that game Tuesday first. As a fair weather fan, so according to what happened with that game on Tuesday, what the fight look like, I might end up down in the T20. What is caretaker about watching India playing West Indies? You see this thing where Trinidadian and Indian like to go and back India. I don't like it, I can understand where that's where you come from and your ancestors from there, and you visit your homeland and you walk, but don't go in the oval and this is a home game. You see the stupidity about people going in. You from Trinidad, you come here, a Trinidad team play a West Indies team, where you from, and you rather put on an India jersey and go there. I remember going in the oval with my mother as a little fellow. And them days the oval it had no Trini Posse or nothing. In Larry Constantine, was Larry Constantine or Larry Joseph? Larry Joseph, a comedian, Larry Constantine stand. We in there, and it's food curry, and it was such a different time. I didn't have to buy food and things. My mother used to make sandwiches and all kinds of things to carry. As a matter of fact, the first time I ate turtle meat was in the oval with my mother and Auntie Saka and them. You know what I mean? It was a day out there for the day. And West Indies in a situation like we was in over the last 2 games, where, like we say, in the last few overs, you have the runs matching the ball. So we just had to... I can't remember if it was Pakistan batting, but whatever it was, the game is tense at the end. And the whole oval boy chanting, Paki, 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 Paki. And I clapping and chanting, and my mother say, boy, hush your mouth, it's Pakistan you're saying. And I say the Paki is for Pakistan. Like, listen, I lost all faith in my country at that moment, and I could have disappeared if I was to disappear. I'd go at that time, because How will you be a local game or a home team play? That's the most insulting thing it could possibly have. So something about Puran seemed to be encouraging the support of people, because I didn't see much India fans in the Oval, not West Indian India fans in the Oval. I hope when they go south, all they do embarrass we and come out and back India over your own home people. So but salute to West Indies, salute to Puran, all they fighting, all they playing. I go watch the game and let hope for the best. On that note, I'm going to leave you with this song. David Rodder would like to play Rally Round the West Indies, so I shall not play that. But in the spirit of India playing West Indies, I will leave you with this one.
A lovely day for cricket, blue skies and gentle breeze. The Indians are waiting now to play the West Indies. A signal from the umpire, the match is going to start.
Yes.
The cricketers come on the field, they all look very smart. Irapali Prasana,
yes.
Gigi Boy and Wadeka, Krishna Murthy and Vishnu Mankad. Them boys could well play cricket on any kind of wicket. They make the West Indies team look so bad. We was in all kind of trouble. Joey Carew pull a muscle, Clive Lloyd get about 3 run out. We was in trouble without a doubt. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Venkataraghavan, Bedi in a turban, Vijay Jaishima, Jayanti Lal. They helped to win the series against the West Indies at Sabina Park and Queen's Park Oval. 158 by Ganai really sent our hopes up high. Noriega 9 for 95, the Indian team they still survive. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Rajan Jurani, Solka Abidali, Dilip Sadesai and Vishwanath. They make West Indies bowlers look like second raters when those fellows came out here to bat. West Indies try holder and keep voice, they had no other choice. They who try with Newton Dow, but a shot and they're sorry they bring him now. It was Gavaskar, the real master, just like a wall. We couldn't out Gavaskar at all, not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Little Desmond Lewis, also Charlie Davis, they take a little shame from out we face. But so Buzz as a captain, he won plenty coaching before we cricket end up in a disgrace. Beatty here that he became a father, he catch out whole first in the cover. But when Sobel's here, he too had a son. He made duck and went back in the pavilion. It was Gavaskar, the real master. Just like a wall, we couldn't out Gavaskar at all. Not at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all. You know the West Indies couldn't out Gavaskar at all.
Hey, I go see you all in next week, you know, because it look like the West Indies look out the basketball. Go let all know if I went in and if I enjoy the cricket, if they go a good fight Tuesday. But until then, I'll see you all in next Tuesday. Bye.